Out here on this boat, see if we can't make a canopy. Fashion a canopy to put the tarp over. So we'll see. Gonna try to hook up these PVC brackets to these bow rails here. So we'll see. So for this boat, to make this tarp, tie wrap these pipes, bend them over to there, and let's see where we end up. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So connect, oh, come on. Okay, that's that one. Do it again down here. This is just a mock-up of the concept. Because I'm going to put a tarp over the boat for while it's in storage. But I got to test the concept. So now I'll try to bend this. I think if I cut it right there. So this is gonna, don't want to create a, when I put the tarp over it, if this inverts, then it'll create a puddle. I want it to stay up. We'll have to glue it. So I need to cut this about right there. Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that. So these hose clamps, the tie wraps burst, stripped as soon as I put force on them trying to bend them pipes. So now we're gonna try using the hose clamps, see if that'll work. Oh. All right.
Yep, hose clamps.
All right, so we got the hose clamps on here
So I'm gonna get
for the mock-up. Getting old is better than being dead.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick that in there and see where it matches up.
Yeah. Splendid. Yeah, absolutely splendid. And that ain't gonna bend in either.
Right there. So we gotta cut it probably right there at that 3.
Cut it at the 4.
Cut it all right.
Cut it at the 4.
All right.
Then we got our next rib off this pipe too. You might be able to take some pipe back, boy.
No, ain't.
It's wishful thinking.
Yeah, let's not go too far.
Whoa, that's valid.
I can always take some off.
Yeah, correct. Better to have more than not to have enough.
All right, so got that mocked up right there. Gonna have to duplicate that all the way up. go buy some more parts and pieces. Well, we got the boat headed to the water. We're just gonna dock it overnight so we can get out in the morning before the sun gets too bad on us. And I sold my Tahoe. Well, without the Tahoe, I got to ask my cousin to pull it with his truck. So that's what we doing. And do it at nighttime. Got to get it done. So, got the fishing lines. I left the bait in the car because this is all I could carry. But July 4th, free fishing day. That means you don't have to have a license to fish in North Carolina. So I figured, what the heck? Might as well throw some lines in the water. I hadn't started this boat up for about 70 days, almost a little over 2 months since I brought it down here. So I got my jackery charging it up. And I just feel like it's a little too hot to get out and ride just now, but these geese have pooped all over the pier. So I'm trying to step around them, their feces, so I don't track it on the boat. It's just grass, but I don't want to stain up the boat. Fishing, so I got the fishing pole. Well, got the bait here. Got some gloves because I got chicken liver for bait, and chicken liver is funky. So I'm gonna use these gloves to put the bait on the line. If it were worms, I'd just use my bare hands, but worms don't smell as bad and you can wash it off. But once you get that chicken liver on, whoosh, it's on. Yeah, now that's a beautiful sight there. Got the fishing rods on the boat. Boat's ready to go. So we'll see. Now we gotta navigate this geese poop minefield. Well, while I got the battery charging, got my fan right here. My jackery is providing power to the charger, right there. My jackery is also powering my fan. Got my fishing line set. I'm in the canopy. There's the sunlight. I'm in the shade. It's hot out here, but it's okay. And I'm looking at my fishing line. It's not getting pulled, so I don't believe I have a hit. It'll start pulling whenever I got. I kept wondering why my battery was low. You know, I've been not on the boat before for 2 months, and I came in to get me some water because it was hot out here, and my refrigerator was on. There's a switch. There's a switch right here, and it was on. You see that green light pop on? It had been on this whole time, so the whole time I've been gone, it's been running, so killed my battery. I know I need to clean up in here. It's pretty dusty. I haven't cleaned this boat, the outside or the inside, since probably May of 2025. But oh well. And now it's getting ready to sit up for 6 years. So Terry, I'm about to fog this engine. So I'm using fogging oil, and I'm going to spray this fogging oil down the carburetor. This fogging oil is going to clog up the carburetor. It's going to clog up, well, it'll fog up the cylinders, and it'll keep rust from forming inside the cylinders and the intake and the carburetor. With that being said, the spark plugs are probably not going to be any good anymore, and it'll run rough. But that's the whole idea. So just wanted you to be aware of that I'm probably ruining the spark plugs with what I'm getting ready to do, but that's what you do when you store stuff. Giving you the heads up. Yeah, you see how that made the engine dull out? And I'm gonna keep spraying it in once I get ready so that I can clog this thing up, fog it up really good, and not build rust up in case you don't buy it. So I'm getting this oil changed. When you got a boat, you got to pump the oil out of the dipstick. So pumping this oil out of here. And I should have brought an air tank because I got to keep getting this gauge, keeping this gauge in the green. And then my hose here is pinched, so it's not really coming through thick. And you got to get that engine good and hot. I got to get, now I'm back to zero, so zero pressure, so I got to push this hose down deeper into the crankcase. All right, it stopped. Pump this back on. Woo. Can't get tired. Got to keep pumping. Keep that pressure gauge in the green right there. I got my jackery plugged up so I can get the fan blowing behind me. Yeah, watching. All right, so we got these verticals in to support the tarp, and this one here goes into these fishing rod holders, and then all of these going across the boat connected to the bow rail with verticals to support it. We're gonna go get that tarp and then stake it to the ground. Should be all good. And we got the PVC held in place with hose clamps to the bow rail. So this should be good and solid. And under that tarp, that sun is making it a greenhouse effect. Well, we still got to go back to the bow and slide it some more towards the stern, just to cover some more of that stern. But it's about even on there. I did a piece of tarp in here. So my cousin left. I did this one on my own. But it's too much on this side. So I had to put them stakes way over there. Then I ran out of parachute cord. But you can see it's sloping in every direction, so it's not gonna cause any problems with water pooling. But this is what we have. That shape in the middle looks real suspect, real funny. I think it broke. That's a sharp point at the very top right there. That's a point, and there are no points. We didn't build any points in the frame. So that's definitely broken already. And this is gonna have to stay like that. I was going for UV protection and protection from the water. It achieves that. Even if them things collapse, it's enough slack that it'll bring in it might make a pool of water, but it ain't gonna rip these things out the ground, these anchors. I would love to crawl in and inspect it, but whatever I inspect, I ain't gonna do anything about it. And I didn't even leave myself a way to get up in there. I reckon I could finagle my way up under there. But I might need to go ahead and try that. I just want to see, has it already failed? All right, got this extra rope put on. Got some survey markers down so that the mower doesn't hit it. And that is the finished product. It's off the ground here, so we get a little venting in the front, a little venting here, and the back is open. That should be sufficient venting. Yeah, we're gonna have to call this good enough, folks. That is good enough. And in 6 years when I get back, hopefully we can get it running again. That tarp was so heavy. I'm not going to be pulling it off for occasional visits in between. So I left the solar panel there on the batteries, the house batteries, because why not? You know, maybe it'll stay standing, maybe it won't. But let's hope so. All right, parked when running.